This is Touchdown Alabama Magazine and 14 and County analyst Stephen M.Smith, coming to you live from the beautiful Mel Moore Athletic Facility. Coach Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide, after a dominating 41-14 performance over Michigan in Texas, now shifts its attention to Western Kentucky coming up this Saturday. The Alabama Crimson Tide is practicing in the indoor practice facility. Let's cut right now to the action.
Stand in real. Make sure you stand in real. Left side 30. Left side 30. Left side 30. Left side 30. Go. Back. There you go. Nice little bend. Sit. Hit. Get up. Mike, you get your hands inside now. Keep the clock. Switch now. 11's in. Tyler's up. One more hurt. 11's in right here. Tyler's up right here. This spot's looking good. We're going to take a look. Right side 30. Right side 30. Right side 30. Take a look. Change it up now. Hard. Barely outside eye, Tyler. Right. Take a look. Back. Nice. You got a reading now. Step. 388. Sit. Hit. Snatch off. Same two people, right side 30. Same two people, right side 30. Just the right side, left side. Quick. Side 30, take a look hard. Look hard, right here. Back. Sit. Hit. That's it. Snatch out. Either way.
There's a tremendous balance between humility and confidence. And this game is a struggle. It's a struggle every day. And you got to embrace it every day. And you got to go out there and try to earn it every day. To be as good a player as you can be. You got to have a tremendous amount of character, confidence, mental and physical toughness. You got to be driven to be the best. And you got to be able to handle success. And, I hate to be negative with anybody. But when you people start writing stuff about people that were playing that doesn't give them the proper respect, that's not fair. It's not fair to them, to their players who work hard to earn it. It's not fair to our players who need to respect them, and to make presumptions like you all make really upsets me. It really does. It's so unfair. You don't need to write about that. There's so many more good things that you can write about happening around here that people would be interested in. I'd love to see some of you do a little bit of research and figure it out. It'd really do my heart good. So, I just had to get that off my chest, because all those things are important, man. What makes the really good players good? What makes the really good teams good? They have those intangible things that make them good. Man, it's work every day around here to try to keep our guys on track, to have a little bit of humility and confidence. We win one game, and I can't believe what gets written. We did play two teams in these neutral site games before and played horrible in the next week because a lot of the same kind of stuff happened. But I'm just giving you my opinion. I respect what you all do. I understand you're not here to promote our program or anything like that, but I would appreciate it if you just give everybody involved in the game. We play the games for a reason. We play the games for a reason. And we make all these predictions of what's going to happen. It takes away from the game, I think. I mean, just like everybody talks about who's going to win a national championship, but why do we play the games? We got a lot of great games coming up. Why do we play those? All right, so does anybody want to ask me a question today or not? I'm trying to be nice about it, too.
A lot of people seem to think teams make their biggest improvement between the first and the second game.
Based on the way we practiced and the way our attitude is around here and what gets written about what's going on and how everybody thinks, I would question whether that's happening or not. So I'm not real happy camper right now. So, and it's my responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility but mine.
Do you think it's a myth then that teams?
Excuse me?
Do you think it's a myth then that teams improve dramatically between?
No, I don't think it's a myth. I think if you work hard and do the right things and practice well and do all the stuff that you're supposed to do and have the right mental attitude and you do what I was talking about before, you have character, confidence, mental and physical toughness, you're driven to be the best, and you can handle success, I think it's not a myth. I don't think it's a myth at all. But I think those ingredients is what make you improve.
And can we get a injury report?
Everybody practiced today except Reggie Ragland, and he's probably the most questionable guy for the game.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about the linebacker number 4 from Western Kentucky, Andrew Jackson's leading tackler for them last year. What do you think of him?
I think he's a really good player. He's a thumper. He's very instinctive. He really plays the run well. He's very physical. He can take on blockers. He's a really good tackler. I think he's an SEC player, no doubt. And he really plays the game the way you like to see defensive players play it. Got a lot of toughness, a lot of tenacity. Really plays hard. I would think that he's a good leader, just the way he plays, but I don't know him personally, but a lot of respect for the guy.
You've been talking about Cody Mandela having a lot more consistency since the spring. Was Saturday's performance kind of a byproduct of that?
No, I think so. I think, almost everything that we saw in the game, good or bad, we saw in practice. So nothing happens by accident. You understand? So Cody's been practicing very, very well. He's been very consistent. He's improved his technique. He's worked hard. He's matured. He's stayed focused on what he's doing. He's punted better in practice. He punted better in the game.
Practice was good. Everybody trying to get better. Trying to get our legs back. Trying to look forward to the game.
I try not to let
How are you
every
approaching
play,
this game?
let the next play after
Look forward to the game. Look forward to the game.
just every play is like it. So, after I get the first play,
Sometimes I want to get out of the last 9 games and every team. And I'm looking forward to it.
What do you know about their, what did you see on film about their team?
But they have some pretty good guys. They have some good DBs that can cover. Which bring out that game.
Has that been the message sort of all week? Is not to overlook them with Arkansas on the horizon?
We take one game at a time, so that's always a good thing. Never overlooking anybody.
That was the 3 games that no concern. I told my dad I was going to
Can you talk about moving a lot with the play action? How much will help him this year?
They actually really good. We have some really good backs, and they can run the ball. And some defense trying to attack those backs. And we usually have speedy guys like me that
they were really good. My last month,
Tell me how practice is going this week.
Practice this week has been good. Our team's really been improving on the field, and every day we just go out there and try and get a little bit better than the day before.
Cody, you were named a Player of the Week, and Alabama's back at #1 in the big win over Michigan. How have you stayed grounded all week and not let that get to you?
The rankings to us don't really matter. We just go out there and we're just going to play our game, and we're just not going to go out there and be satisfied. You just can't you can't let a ranking or something like that just let you get over the top with your head. You know, you just got to stay grounded and, like you said, stay grounded and just not worry about it until the end of the season.
How are you approaching this week with Western Kentucky, with Arkansas looming on the horizon next week?
You know, we're just going one game at a time. Arkansas is next week, and Western Kentucky is this week. Western Kentucky is a very good opponent, and I think a lot of people are overlooking it.
Another Wednesday practice, team run, good against the good fundamental drills to work on, so y'all slack off and get in the game.
It's midweek, it's hot. Coach just kind of seemed like you had an upset. Do you think was it a good practice, or was it hard to focus today? Or?
Well, I mean, there's guys that, you know, he probably affected them some, but, you know, in the game, you know, you have to face adversity, and that's good practice for practice. So, you know, it might be even worse during the game. You know, guys got to overcome that and play their best football.
Has it been tough this week to focus on Western Kentucky, knowing that Arkansas is on the horizon, Robert?
I mean, we haven't even thought of Arkansas. Western Kentucky is the most important thing right now, and the only tough thing about it is just making sure, you know, putting them among ourselves to execute the game plan. You know, they're a big shift and motion team, and we want to make sure that we're on point and know what coverages we're going to.
After a hard day of practice, Coach Saban and the players expressed how important it is to not overlook any team, but to take every situation one game at a time. As the Tide prepares to take on Western Kentucky, they analyze how well they did against Michigan, but they recognize that each game, each opportunity, is a chance to improve. Whereas for all of us here at TouchdownAlabama.net, I'm 14 and counting analyst Stephen M.Smith reporting live from the Mel Moore Athletic Facility. The game against Western Kentucky takes place on Saturday, September the 8th, 2012.